Nickon Aquam Magna. I think it's about time I talked about that. So yeah, Aquam Magna is the planet that this takes place on. Manui is the island and the god that, created or whatever. But the planet itself is just a planet that's almost completely covered by oceans, even more so than Earth. There's just a few little specks of land here and there, like this island and a couple other islands that we'll see later on in the story. But yeah, they call it Aqua Magna, which I think means great water in Latin. Anyway, will you join my party and come to the Kininui? I will come. Just like that, no resistance whatsoever, no enthusiasm. He doesn't seem too eager to do it, but he just goes, yeah, sure, whatever. Let's go. So yeah, Latin. In later years, they'll it's kind of weird to explain just the terminology, just the names and everything of Bionicle. It's part of its sense of culture. They didn't just make up a bunch of these names. Most of the words you're hearing here, most of the names of these characters are based on words of the Maori language. I think it's a beautiful language. I love all these names. But apparently, when Bionicle first started, and when the Game Boy game was released, they had such a shit fit. The Maori people, I don't know, it's just some Maori person who claimed to be someone standing up for the people or whatever, but turns out he may have just been some random troll, not a representative of any kind. He's like, you're just awful that you guys would disgrace our language using it for some silly game. Our language is precious, our culture is precious, and you would dare use our names and our language for these stupid pieces of plastic. Well, geez, sorry, buddy. I can't help it if your language is freaking awesome. Can't help it if all your words and your names are freaking beautiful and so much fun to say. I've been expecting you, traveler. You were here to find Matoran that may join your quest. It is a hard choice since the Rahi have been massing underground and will attack us at any moment. Manepu is brave and strong and will be the best choice, but he and his Osuri regiments are needed to defend the caves. Tepu instead should go. He is not perhaps the brightest lights on Nonokoro, but his strength is equaled only by his heart. Ah, it's so cliche. With all the work that goes on here, it is dangerous to let any go with you, let alone our strongest digger. But Tepu has spoken of nothing but you and adventure since his visit to Lake Koro, and so I feel it would be wrong to keep him here. Ah, you may take Tepu. He is in the Great Mine, hard at work as usual. So, yeah, thank you. Good luck in your travels, adventure. May Yanua protect you. So you may have noticed now I'm basically taking the opposite path that I did on the first Switch quest around this island. Yeah, it does get kind of repetitive, so I do like to mix it up. But anyway, yeah, so apparently a few Maori guys are really pissed off that they dared to disgrace the Maori language by using it just to name all these characters and everything. And in later years, that's kind of downplayed. Like Tahu and so on, they'll still be around way later in the Bionicle story. But all the characters that are introduced as it goes on, a lot of them have different names. Some are made up just for the whole fantasy feel. Some of them are just random dumb fantasy names you'd expect to hear in any old World of Warcraft stuff. It's you! And they didn't change this screen behind them. Are we gonna go on another adventure together? I would like that very much. Manui is truly a wondrous place. I should like to see more of it. Will you join our company? Yes, I will join you. Yay. Still got, what is it, 3 people to join us. Okay. So we're halfway done. But anyway, yeah, in later years of Bionicle, aside from making up some completely random names, once they start introducing other planets altogether, they start using more Latin names. I thought that was interesting because, of course, the Latin language does sound significantly different than the Maori language. When you hear enough names and words from the 2 languages, they do sound different enough to feel like 2 distinct cultures within the Bionicle universe. But, because they essentially are in real life. But, they're still similar enough that they have generally the same kind of fantasy feel. They both are musical and just fun to say in the same way. So, yeah. Just a really rich culture, really rich terminology throughout the years of Bionicle. A mix of fantasy, the Maori language in the early days, Latin in the later years. I think it all works out pretty well. Wait a second, I didn't have to go all the way here. Can't believe I just passed by another party member. Screen kind of flickering in a weird way, lately I noticed. I'm not giving any carving lessons today. Don't you know the Rahi about? If you want to see my artwork, you should do so in Port Coral. It's safe there, although I do not know for how long. Please don't bother me. I have to finish my masterpiece before the Rahi attack. Will you join our company? So, you have need of my great skills. Who am I to deny fame and glory, even if I do not last to see it? I will join your company. Well, gee, thank you, Your Highness. Only 2 places to stop left. Oh my gosh, I completely forgot. I should have stopped at Lake Carl. I usually stop at God Carl last. I don't even need to click that to remember. The thing is just that since I'm talking, I keep forgetting the things like that. Anyway. So I'm gonna go to Lake Carl, and then I'm gonna go to God Carl. And then we move on to like the final act of the story. Things are gonna get really crazy soon enough. Just getting some busy work out of the way. Oh, hello. Matau Singer and Kongu pilot up tree they are. Ramaswarm threatens all good Lemator and fly defense. High branch home locked and protected. Down tree guard am I set here because I fly not. Will you join our company? Join I will. High branch home safely guarded. No Rahi approach through bush, only from sky. 1 place left. So anyway, some I kind of delved into before, but kind of got sidetracked from. I love the whole tribal feel of these guys. Like, things do change as the Bionicle story goes on. As we see different cultures and whatnot, it doesn't quite have the same tribal feeling that it does now. You may pass. Thank you. But at least for those early days, when they just needed to make a really good impression on us to build a strong base, this mix of just the fantasy and the sci-fi stuff worked really well. I see the whole biomechanical nature of the characters themselves, you know, being some meaty bits and some robot bits, as just a good analogy of like the entirety of Bionicle. Because you do have these, you know, these beings, they're the sci-fi aspects, and then you look at all this, you wouldn't expect to see such beings in a place like this. You'd expect to see elves or something like that. And that's just part of what made Bionicle stand out, you know? I think Hero Factor doesn't stand out that much by comparison because it is just robots in a generic-looking, futuristic city. Hello, Chronicler. I heard Huki was sick and that you helped him become better. Thank you. I mean, I'm sure the Pomatoran are glad to have him back. Will you join my party? Oh wait, I wish no Kama would let me go visit Huki, but the Rahi are going to attack again, and everyone is building barricades around the village. Yes, I will come with you. It'll be good to go on adventures again. Yay, so that's everyone we need in our party. And it was important that I stop here last because this is like the most important place. This waterfall here, such a cool place. Here's part of the mechanic of these guys. You get to talk to them. I can help us cross. I used to go boating here in safer times. If it's weathered the storms, my canoe is still hidden in the bushes along the bank. This is that point where the animations just start to get really good. Got quite a crowd with us now. It's time for the final stretch of our journey. This is like all the fetch quests of One Out are over. We're trekking through a new part of the island now. Not much we can do here. Now, this is part of what I like about this mechanic. All these guys have some special skill that you'll need to use to get through the next part of the journey. For some reason, there's no text there. I think that's just a bug. He's afraid of heights. It's very uncommon with a Lematoran, but I think it's just part of what makes Tamaru stand out. It gives him character. And yes, he was miscolored there. Probably another bug, or maybe it was always that way. Let's just hear what our party has to say. With such company, Makuta beasts have much to fear. Oh, wait. It's good to be on an adventure with you again. I thought Okama would keep me locked up in the village forever. If you practice, you can move quickly. Eh. Are we there yet? This land is a place of beauty, and also of sadness. There is no greater craftsman than Matanui. True that. So anyway, yeah, again, part of what made Bionicle stand out was the mix of fantasy, tribalistic stuff, and these robotic-looking beings. It was just that blend that made it completely, like, original at the time. There was nothing else that had that kind of approach, that kind of mix of things. And again, I just think that's part of what made it so strong. My stonecraft is great indeed, Chronicler. I can cut through these stones, but I should also need great skill at digging, such as Tapu possesses. Digging in rock is what Onomotorians do best. I will clear a route, but in the case of my home, a Pomotoran mason is often a hand to cut and clear. Wait, we gotta talk to him first? Alright. This is one of my favorite cutscenes. These guys, they look the same. It will become kind of a running gag as this series goes on. Another Hafu original. That is just amazing. I just love that he nods like, I'm just that awesome. We're just going all over this island now. Such beautiful art again, I just love it. Ooh. Sorry if you hear someone in the background calling on the phone. Again, just a very cool scene. And there it is! We've made it! And here they are, the Toa. We finally get to see them all in one place, and they all look great. This is the first time we've actually had a clear shot at Tahu. Anyway. This is where we begin our final task. If any of you question our choice or doubt our chances of work together, speak now. I have doubted you in the past, Tahu, but no more. I think I speak for all of us when I say that our only hope is to work together. So I cast my sword with yours, if you will have it. I will have it gladly, Kopaka. Are you all in assent? Then it is decided. Together the Makuta cannot resist us. This is really cool, because it's like the first time we actually see the Toa really talking or interacting like this. Anyway, wait, Tahu, have you given no thought to a return? If that Rahi attacked the temple while we were below, how can we escape? I do not know the answer to that question, Leiwa. So grim is this task that I have not thought it much use to consider anything beyond our meeting with the Makuta. Hold! There's an intruder among us! What is this? Stay your claws, Onoa. It is a chronicler and his company. Little one, you are brave indeed to have come all this way. And I see you have gathered help from all the villages around. Tahu, it is as I hoped. These Matoran can guard the Kininui while we descend, and see that no Rahi attacks us from behind. The Rahi are fearsome. May their hearts prove greater than their size would suggest. In truth, it is said that great power can be found in small packages, and that aid can come from places least expected. And besides, we have few options. So be it. Chronicler, it is your doom to remain here and guard the Kininui at all costs. This deed will be remembered as long as any remain to sing of it. Friends, we have much to do and little time. Let's go! Before I go, Chronicler, know that there is a bond between us. She's not kidding. Remember what I said about Takua being one of the first Matoran ever created? Well, these two met a long, long time ago. So long that neither of them even remember it. But you know, they did, and he made quite an impression on her back then. So anyway. Your struggles and those of your friends will be much to bear. I shall be with you in heart. Look for me in your dreams. I will come to you then and speak to you of the things we see underground. Remember them. Goodbye, and do not let the temple fall. I don't really know what kind of voice to give her. I can't do the, buff lady kind of voice they try to give her in the movie. And that's it. Like Matoran, we of ice fear the fiery Kofuchaka. We can easily crack the hard Nuijag and Santaragaba, beast of stone. All these guys will give you advice which you're gonna need for the next part. This is where things get really, really crazy. They weren't kidding when they said we were going to have to actually fight the Rahi. This is where things come to a head. Just gotta wait a little while. But yeah, so far we've just kind of been avoiding the Rahi. But now, we're actually going to have to fight them. Really, really fight them. So let me explain how this works. All these guys have different attributes. Like in terms of how well they can dodge attacks, how well they can block attacks, and just how accurate their own hits are, and just things like that. And it's implied that you're supposed to, make the most use of each one, to just master them, and like how you arrange your attacks and everything. But I don't really do things that way. It doesn't really matter. Like, I've fought enough to get some sense of how good these guys are at fighters, what their skills are, what attacks I should see coming and from what. But overall, they all play the same enough. I made it look really easy, but it's not going to be that easy for long. Yeah. Here it is, the Tawakaida. It is here that we join. Spirit of Valor, hear me. I am Akamai. Spirit of Wisdom, hear me. I am Weruha. God dang it, my dog has to go out. I'll be right back, guys. Dang it. Okay, guys, sorry that my dog had to ruin this scene like that, but anyway. So, Weruha, you are joined. Let us now choose a path and go into the darkness to face our destiny. Be it good or ill. So yeah, this is that golden mask that we saw way below. Our way lies not together, Akamai. We must face whatever evils are before us alone. I choose this road, you take the other. With luck we will come together again at the gates of Mangai. So yeah, you can get little hints of who would be best to pick against certain Rahi, but I just generally ignore that stuff. I basically just pick one guy to spam and just completely obliterate him, then move on to the next enemy. Some would say that it's better to attack all of the Rahi evenly that will appear, because we're not just going to fight one at a time, you'll see. But yeah, maybe it's better that I wait until I can practice what I'm saying. I mean, I can show it in practice. Here we go. Oh, jeez. Now, some would say that I should go after the biggest guy first, because he'll do the most damage and whatnot, but no. Oh, jeez! Just like that. Okay, so now I have only 5 guys who are able to attack, and the battle is going to be that much harder. It might not seem like that big of a deal, but it really is. And you've got to treat these guys in kind. You have to completely take out just, like, one at a time. Jeez. This could go so badly in so many ways now. Don't worry. Oh, jeez! This has never happened before. I never even had to fight a Terrakavan. Oh my gosh. This is just awful. I don't think I even would be able to take out the Terrakava that quickly if I was just taking it on its own. Oh my gosh. The Terrakava's gotta be like the most powerful enemy out of all of these. I'm not sure I can still do this. But anyway, with as many guys as you have around, you gotta just attack one guy until he's down, because the fewer Rahi there are to attack you together, that's gonna make the battle that much easier. And it works the other way around. The fewer of you guys you have around to attack them, the harder the battle will be. I can just land one more good hit on him. Oh, for goodness sake. That is one beast. Come on. Wait, he's a Pumatorn. He must be like the strongest against this kind of Rahi. Come on. You can do it, Hafu, please! You can't keep dodging forever. Good hit. Kind of. Yes! That was a better hit. This is pretty crazy. I've never had a situation like this before. I just have to keep pushing back. Oh, jeez. But anyway, it is a good thing that I got rid of those Nui Rama, because they would still be giving me a hard time if I didn't take them out right away. Then again, considering how much damage Terakava did to all of my guys in no time at all, maybe I should have taken them out first. But when it comes to most Rahi, like the Nui Jaga and even the Muwaka, I generally just take out all the little peons, all the Nui Rama first, and just work my way up, just for the sake of getting rid of as many of them as quickly as possible. I can win this! I can do this! Come on, one more good hit. You can do it, Hafu. You can win this. Come on! Come on! Almost done. Come on, just one more good hit. You can do it! Come on! It can't take much more than this. So tense! I keep thinking that something bad's gonna happen at the last second. It's getting ready to attack. Yes! Oh my gosh! Winner by a hair! Thank you, Hafu. I guess the whole element thing did come into play, because they do the most damage against those guys. Anyway, these are the Menace, some of the most powerful Rahi in existence. They are not even of this land. And just like that, that cutscene is over. Now yes, all of these guys will come back for this next battle, but they are going to have much less health than before. And just so you know, you can't afford to lose a battle more than once. It's just that each time you lose, you will be pushed a little bit further back toward the temple. And for like every battle that goes by, you'll see another cutscene with the Toa Kaida. You just have to outlast these things. If you can like avoid losing more than, I don't know, 3 battles, you'll be okay. You just have to win every battle that you can, even if it's by a hair like I did. Oh, jeez. No, this time I'm doing things differently. I'm taking out the Terakava first. I honestly don't think I can win this battle. Oh, jeez. But I can sure try. I can give them a hard time. I didn't think I'd win that last one, but I did. Oh wow, just like that. I can still win this. The thing is, the Nui Rama are probably the best out of all these guys at dodging. Well, second best. I think the Muwaka are the best at dodging all attacks. And just so you know, the Muwaka is that big yellow thing that we saw back in the blizzard. I can still win this. I can. Oh my gosh. I might actually be able to do this. Come on guys, we gotta pull together. Every battle we win makes things that much easier for us. Anything will go down if you hit it hard enough and hit it enough times. I can still do this. Come on. It won't take much more than this, just another good few hits. But yeah, you see, for every Matoran that is still around, this battle can still be won. I can just, like... Oh my gosh, I won! I don't know how I'm plowing through these guys. This is pretty good animation. At times I have to wonder if it is all just drawn, because scenes like this, it looks like a 3D model moving around. So yeah, the Troghater are not doing too well. I think because at least a couple of these guys made it through that last fight, they might have a little more health than they did last time, but this is still gonna get pretty hard. So yeah, we've seen all the Rahi that we've met so far save one, which isn't necessarily as strong as the, well, okay, it doesn't attack as frequently as a Terracotta does. It attacks very rarely, actually, but most of the time it can take a Matoran out in one hit just easily. And it can dodge most attacks. It's actually the hardest to fight, and we're probably gonna see it now. Yep, there it is. Okay, if we can just take out the Nui Jaga first, which can also be a pest, this might be possible. Good, Kopik. That was such a good hit, too. It's a good thing that Kapura was able to get that hit in before he went down for the count. So yeah, these guys can... It's not like they... Oh, jeez. It's not like they die if they're not wearing their masks, but they are severely weakened. So that's what's up with the whole mask thing. Okay, now we can focus completely on the Muwaka. We might be able to do this. Oh, good dodge, Teimaru. This is actually really exciting. This is actually a really good segment for a kids game, for a simple point-and-click adventure. I actually find this more thrilling than most RPGs, to be honest, just because you're not like having to scroll through a text or whatever. The battle isn't constantly pausing. There's a good sense of time, of urgency. You gotta act fast, you gotta keep pressing. You can't let up for even a second. But yeah, as long as you have enough Matoran around, just a steady stream of attacks, you should be alright. But jeez, some of these guys are only doing a few hits of damage, it seems. This guy has a lot of health. He's very good at dodging, and I think there's something of a dodging mechanic that determines how badly something is damaged. Like if it manages to be hit in a, like, oh jeez. I think they can manage to only be like grazed by an attack and not damaged that badly. You have to hit them like very precisely. I'm not sure if you have to click on a certain part of their body or if it really is just random. Oh man. I might not be able to do this. Just gotta hope for the best. Keep going, Maku, keep going, Hafu. Oh, I might be able to do this. Come on. I can do this. I think Maku is actually able to attack the quickest. That's a good thing to know. Good job, Hafu. Good job dodging that. Come on. We can still do this. I did it. Oh my gosh. I won every single battle. Wow. But the scrape of... Jeez. Ah, jeez. Yeah, this is a little much. It's horrible. There must be hundreds of Rahi out there. We're doomed. I will stand with you, Chronicler, no matter what. I shall never cease singing songs like Carl again. Oh, whoa. Here they come. Look to the sky. Hooray! Kongu! It's Kongu! Our friends from all over the island have come to save us. Hooray! So, I think I did fairly well, wouldn't you guys say? So, this is how it ends, Waruha. For these monsters also a Kamai. I didn't get to read that last bit because these cutscenes go by way too fast on today's computers. Wait, these street towers. And that's how they win. The Manas are seemingly invincible, but apparently they're controlled by these things. We have survived. For now, we were lucky. Wisdom provides only when valor is in its service. So yeah, these... Oh. I feel... strange. It's like being torn apart. What has happened? The spirit of Makuta is a spirit of destruction. This is in a realm. The Toa Kaida cannot exist here. The man has nearly destroyed the Toa Kaida, and the Makuta is 10 times greater than they. What hope do we have? The Toa Kaida merely gave physical form to the force of our unity. We still possess it in our hearts. But the Toa Kaida's wisdom and valor were unmatched. Where wisdom and valor fail, all that remains is faith. And it can overcome all. Gali is right, we must go on. Heeders Chronicler, we step now through the gates of doom. Our link is broken. If you wish to fulfill your destiny and record the last moments of this time, you must find us. Find us! I love Taihu's line there. There is still faith. Chronicler, wake up. Please wake up. Yay, all of our friends are here. Rahi disappear and Matau confused. Thought Rahi fall back here to destroy Kininui, so fast fly we come to aid. I am High Fly Vine's men and Deepwood Wayfinder. Not everyone seems to have something to say, but you survived! Vakama will be heartened by this. The Kininui is safe now. I think though that this day's trials are far from over. The Toa are underground. I love this. Watch these guys. Hey, Mataro. Hey. Hey, Kopik. Hey. It's just, they could completely ignore us, but they stop and turn to us and wave, and it's just, even that is enough. We're pals now. And this is just great, seeing all these people from all the different villages come together like this. It kind of bugs me that we don't see Huki or anyone from Pokaro. Whatever. Are we gonna go on another adventure together? No, Tepo, I'm sorry. That's the last adventure we're gonna have for a while. Something strange has happened on Okaro. We knew it says you should come here, and quickly, but not on foot. Take Puku. She followed us all the way here. I think she's been looking for you. Sorry, I keep messing up their text, guys. Anyway, ride the crab? Yes. We can't go anywhere now. This is the final part of the game. You'll see. And thus we have entered the final stage of the game. We are now unable to go anywhere, but one final stretch. You'll see. Wait, let's see if... Nope, he's not here. Place is almost completely deserted. We can't go... Yeah, we're really stuck in this last part of the game. You'll see why in a moment. You are safe, Chronicler. That is good. The prophecies, then, are still truthful. They say Gali has called on you. There has been a disturbance in the Great Mine. The golden disc you discovered has disappeared, and a passage is open there. My workers are too afraid to go near it. We believe it is another entrance to the Makuta's lair. It is your destiny to find the Toa, Chronicler, no matter what the outcome. I hope you have the courage to face it. Goodbye. Goodbye. Well... We're journeying to the final stage. So yeah, a couple things I want to talk about. The Toa Kaida, those are actual sets. You get 3 Toa and you could merge their bodies together. And as the Toa bodies of later lines just became more and more specialized, you couldn't do that so much. They were more focused on the individual figures. But still, just being able to combine them like that in those early lines was just such a fun part of them. This is so eerie. We are completely alone down here. So yeah, apparently the passageway we discovered before, that staircase with a mask at the bottom of it, that's the back door to Makuta's lair. These guys dug so far, so deep into the earth, that they reached the outskirts of Makuta's... This is just so creepy. We're journeying into the mouth of doom, or whatever it is. The mask is gone, but you can click on this now. And now you're finally going to see what Takua looks like. And for those of you who have never seen this before, be prepared. He doesn't look quite like most Tamatoran, you'll see. Yep, he has a blue mask. It kind of sets him apart from the other Tamatoran. I really like it. Just, it makes him one of the most unique looking characters. And his color scheme doesn't even look that bad this way. You know, the yellow feet, just everything offsets each other nicely. Anyway, if I were to remake this game or something like that, I would make this place its own level. And I would have it happen like two ways. Once you'd go through as a Toa Kaida, and everything would seem kind of small because you'd be gigantic, like 20 feet tall, and you'd be dealing massive amounts of damage to all the Manus and whatnot. Well, probably not them, but whatever other Rahi you might fight. And then you'd go through it a second time as Taku, and suddenly everything seems so much bigger, and you just see the ruins around, and there'd be this somber, finale sort of music playing. And you'd probably find other Rahi that would be no match for the Toa Kaida, but for a small Matoran like Takua, it would still be a challenge. But anyway, yeah, this is a place we just saw. I'm sorry for rambling so much. I don't really have much time left to talk about anything. We're going to see the Makuta. We're going to see the finale. We're going to see how this all ends. This is so exciting. This is the final part of the game. This is so creepy. Yeah, they didn't make an actual set for the Makuta, but, they came up with a good design for him in this game.
Makuta, we have come. What? I have been waiting for you. But you are... I am just born to protect.
Tao is a trick. We must destroy him.
Destroy me? You cannot destroy me. No more than you can destroy the sea or the will. The void.
You are like the sea. The sea bears life. The sea bore us.
I bore you. For I am nothing. And out of nothing you came. And it is into nothing that you will go. I stand with the mortal side. I am his brother. The people of this world are their builders, but look into their hearts, and you will find that they have also the power to destroy. I am not power. I am destruction. And I will destroy.
But you are a Matoran.
Something like this.
Our only hope is to work together. But what has happened to the chronicler? Well, shit. Now all that foreshadowing is gonna pay off. That symbol is the one we saw in our vision! Seems Makuta had a contingency plan just in case he was ever defeated. wake one and you wake them all. Hey, this is where we begin the game. We can't click anywhere else. This is, again, we're kind of being funneled into the end of the game. But that's it. We beat the Manui online game. Yeah, there wasn't some big final boss fight or whatever, but I think those Rahi we fought earlier were close enough. But yeah, you have now seen it. The Manui online game. The culture. The legends. Just all that cool stuff. But it's time for the final cutscene. And when I was a kid, this is like one of the most emotional things for me, you'll see. So, you have surprised us again, Chronicler. We feared your courage led you to a final adventure, but it seems you may have many more in the future. You seem afraid. I know what you saw in that cave. Our prophecy said that Makuta's defeat would end our troubles, but the prophecies have changed. Something yet darker looms ahead of us. But for now, put these thoughts from your mind. There are many reasons for the people of Motunui to rejoice. When we first met, and you found my mask and my fire staff, and indeed fulfilled quest for all of the Turaga, you were thought to be an outcast. No Maton travels from village to village having adventures. The people of Takaro did not trust you, and feared your adventurous ways. They were certain it would bring us ill luck. But you have proven us all wrong, Takua. You stand like the Toa among Motunui's greatest heroes. Come, let us leave this windy beach, and return to the light and heat of Takaro. A little pat on the shoulder, that's great. Many friends await you there. And there you have it, my friends. That was the Motunui online game. One of my favorite games. Not just like personally, but I just think it's... I really do think this game is amazing. Not so much as a game, not so much in terms of the mechanics. Like, there is enough going on for it to be an actual game. There's a lot of just cool places to visit and just some cool gimmicks and mini-games and so on. But also just as an experience. I love this game. This is the kind of game that I can just come back to again, like every now and then, and just still enjoy it. It is still as fresh in my mind as it was back in the day. I think the music is good, you know, what original music there is. I think the cutscenes are very good. I think just the style overall is really good. A lot of love went into this game. It's a very unique sort of game. Like, can you think of any other toy line that has had something like this? Something that was just this cool? Something that just left the kind of impact that this one did? You guys are watching, I doubt it really affected the same way it affected me, but I hope that now you can kind of sort of see why I love this game so much. I hope that you can understand just how it really hit me. And again, it's kind of sad that Hero Factory didn't have something like this to make it special, you know? That really is just a toy commercial. It is just goofy and uninspired, and again, I like the toys, but I could say that about any of these lines, about any construction or construction figure, as some people would say. But what made Bionicle really, really special was just the world and the lore, the identity that it had. Now, I'm hearing that LEGO is going to produce a new line in 2015, a new construction figure line. I don't know if they're going to cancel Hero Factory, though honestly we wouldn't be surprised since they seem to care less and less about that as it goes on. Like, they're putting less work into the advertising, into the world and all that. Like, they kind of sort of tried when it first began, and they were kind of building up to something with a breakout line with a story there. It was finally starting to pick up, but they just kind of stopped. And it's just kind of sad to me, honestly, that they put so little passion into something like that. But with whatever line they introduce in 2015, I hope that they come up with something that is more inspired, it is more interesting. I doubt it will be as good as Bionicle, but at least it might be something fresh and new, you know? And when 2015 comes around, and you guys have seen whatever toys they're releasing then, you'll probably think that what I'm saying now is just a load of hype. Some are hoping that they bring back Bionicle, but I honestly don't think they will. I would like it if they did, but I have to wonder just how they would go about it, how they would carry on with it. But even if it is something completely different, I at least look forward to seeing something fresh and new and just more interesting than what they've done lately. Like this game right here really is the sort of thing that could only happen once. No one makes Flash games like this nowadays. You know, it was just an art of the time, and it was like the best of the time. There was nothing else like it. Nothing else with just this much care put into it. Flash games back then were just really crappy in general, and it was only a select few like this that were really special. And I'm just so happy that there was something like this to make Bionicle as cool as it was, because again, I probably wouldn't have loved it the way I did if not for this. To me, this was Bionicle. This made it. Anyway, I had fun with this LP, and I hope you had fun watching it. And that's all I really have left to say, because I'm just repeating myself now. Toodles, guys. And that's it, guys. I just have a few final thoughts to get out there. It's always nice to be able to go back in time with this game every now and then, because as the years went by and they kept adding more to the lore and whatnot, Bionicle grew to be a very different sort of beast than it was in the beginning. I mean, we're talking 10 years of this stuff, and it just got bigger and crazier as it went on. In a way, this was actually the downfall of Bionicle, as this made it harder and harder for new fans to get into the story from, say, 2007 onwards. But for those of us who grew up with this and stuck around to see it all unfold, I say the investment was worth it. I don't think it's an overstatement when I say that this game, this one strong centralized piece of media you've just witnessed, played a huge part in Bionicle's success in those early years. Did you know that there was a time when they had planned to call it Boneheads of Voodoo Island? Gee, how inspired. In the end, Bionicle took off like it did because it had a strong base to build from. And as someone who stuck with it for so long, as someone who's seen all the crazy plot twists and whatnot of later years, it's so cool to find out they had planned such things right from the beginning. Of course, there was no way I could see such things coming back then. As more was revealed about the true nature of the Bionicle world and all that, some of the appeal did diminish for certain people. Like I said earlier, a big part of Bionicle's appeal, what made it so interesting, was a juxtaposition of sci-fi elements and fantasy elements. It wasn't even sci-fi fantasy, it was a different beast altogether, and to this day, there are people who wished it would always be just a bunch of little robo-dudes on a tropical island, which it stopped being after a while, as it evolved into so much more. But with revelations about what the Red Star actually is, what Tren Krom actually is, what Mount Nui actually is, and what Takua actually is, and pretty much everything else, the whole mysticism of it sort of died. It was still an amazing story, but it only had that special feel of this game for so long, for better or worse. Looking at the sort of productions LEGO's churning out nowadays, I honestly find it sad that the kids of today don't have their own Mangai online game, their own adventure that could define something like Hero Factory as their special something. I mean, look at Ninjago. I think the Ninjago TV show is great. In fact, I think it's their best show. Yeah, it's a kid's show, but it's got just the right balance of playfulness and substance, myth building and whatnot. It's imaginative, it's witty, it's fun, and it's just interesting. Why they apparently can't strike the same balance with Hero Factory or say Chima, I have no idea. But compared to Ninjago, both of those shows are just stupid. Really, really stupid. I mean, I love the Chima sets, and the figures have really grown on me, and I even love Chima's world, but the problem is that in the actual story, the characters aren't cool like the sets are, and that does give me less incentive to be invested in the line at all, because the story attached to it is so dumb that it gives the sets less to represent, you know? But then again, I guess that just isn't for me. And as much as it hurts, there's a part of me that says this isn't a problem, that if anything, LEGO is doing things right by appealing strictly to small children who don't realize they're watching a toy commercial and are being duped into liking this stuff, that I'm not supposed to like it. But then I realized this really is a betrayal of what LEGO's supposedly about. LEGO isn't just for kids. It's supposed to have something for all ages, to be something timeless that you can enjoy whether you're 4 or 40. And no, I'm not talking about making it mature with guns and whatnot like Mega Bloks, hell no. Bionicle didn't need that much. Something like Ninjago is just right for LEGO. Again, I just wish they made more productions like that, but they're shooting themselves in the foot when they marginalize their audience like this. In the end, these are all toy commercials, which isn't a bad thing, but it's nice to see something that at least tries to be more than that, which Bionicle was. But that was the sort of thing that could only happen once. In the end, I'm still sad Bionicle ended, but I'll always have this. I'll always be able to come back to this. And so can you. Just look up the Matanui online game, and the first search result that appears should be Templar Studios' own website, where this game will always be. You don't even have to download it like I did, it's just there. It is nice that having little to lose financially from this game simply existing, LEGO does let us have that. Look, I understand if watching this LP and listening to me rambling for 3 hours wasn't enough to make you a Bionicle fan, but I at least hope you've enjoyed the journey with me. I can understand why I love Bionicle so much. I also understand if the sheer scope of Bionicle makes it intimidating to try to get into, but hey, when you read The Hobbit, you aren't expected to have read the Silmarillion beforehand so you'll have a better understanding of how Middle-earth works. You just gotta find the right place to start. If you do feel like getting into Bionicle, this giant that we've just scratched the surface of, this life-spanning undertaking, check out the Scholastic books, Chronicles, Adventures, then Legends. There's a few books after that, but they don't really go anywhere, mainly because Bionicle ended. The first 3 series get better as they go on, and I mean that in the best way, though my favorite book will always be Time Trap. They're also dirt cheap, and you can get them on Amazon for like $2 to $4 each. From there, you can continue with the online story serials, which have been removed by LEGO along with the official Bionicle website altogether, but all of which you can find on biosector01.com, or Bionicle Sector. As for the movies, I'd say check out Mask of Light first, though if you want my honest opinion, I think the second movie, which is actually a prequel, is a much, much better film. In fact, it's the only Bionicle movie that I feel I can call a legitimately good film, and not just a fun but ultimately goofy kids flick, or yes, a toy commercial. The other Bionicle games are kind of all over the place. I could ramble about this game all day, but I'm pretty sure you can tell by now that it's one of my favorite games. It's not even so much a game as it is an experience that changed the way I look at games and toys in general, and I'm glad I got to experience it when I did in those glory days. Sorry to say, it'll be a while before I do any more LPs, which isn't really the focus on my channel anyway. My next LP will be Freedom Planet, which sounds like it's going to be released this coming year. Or this year, if you're seeing this a few days after it was uploaded. In any case, I'm looking forward to that. My next game review will be The Amazing Spider-Man, ending the Spider-Man retrospective. After that, I plan to review some other old LEGO games. Also, I have a fan series in the works called Bionicle Nova Orbis, which means New Planet. I wanted to make something with a fresh start that people could jump into without 10 years of baggage making it confusing. It takes place on another world with a new generation of Matoran, a really long time after Bionicle ended, and I guess you could say it's the Mega Man ZX of Bionicle. I'll be uploading chapters of the story and even concept art to the BZ Power forums and my DeviantArt gallery, and it seems pretty well received so far, so yeah, I'm rolling with this. So there's another thing to look forward to. Anyway, I guess this is where we end our journey, guys. I hope you longtime fans enjoyed rekindling fond memories from our childhood, and you newbies enjoyed being introduced to this world and all its splendor and wonder and all that. I love this game to no end, is to find my childhood, yada yada yada. Looking forward to 2015's new line. See you later.